You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, a meeting took place earlier this evening in downtown Sarasota with the focus on stopping violence in schools and communities. This public forum comes on the heels of this past weekend's March for Our Lives rallies across the country and right here on the Sun Coast. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live now from the Peace Education and Action Center with more details. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. There were a lot of speakers here tonight. There is a push to make our schools safer. Many local groups are keeping the momentum going following Saturday's nationwide March for Our Lives. The variety of speakers during Tuesday night's school shootings Never Again public forums say the gun violence has got to stop.
There's a revolution going on. There's a whole change in thinking, and I think we have an opportunity really for the first time to get some gun laws through with real teeth.
Speakers on hand included students, teachers, parents, and gun control activists. One of the featured speakers was 17-year-old student Madison Markham. She tells us that she has a lot to say about gun violence, especially as of late, and she wants to make sure her voice continues to get heard, as well as others from her generation.
The kids that had died were kids my age, and that's really scary to see yourself in a situation like that could have been me. And I think afterwards it's become put on students that it's our duty to talk about this.
Candy Magnotti, a grief specialist, was another one of the featured speakers. She felt a need to give her perspective on this issue of gun violence.
My strength, my expertise falls in knowing and understanding the root cause of this issue. And the root cause is emotional pain, trauma that has not been addressed, and that's why we're seeing the angry outbursts that we're seeing.
Tuesday's public forum was put together by the Protect Our Public Schools group, also known as POPs. And keep in mind, students nationwide will be walking out on April 20th. Reporting live from downtown Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. Spring break is in full effect for Sarasota and Manatee County students. Because of this, you'll notice increased police security at area beaches. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says safety and enforcing the law is their top priority this spring break. Although there will not be any curfews for minors, there will be certain areas that are closed to the public after a certain time.
We also have what are called green zones, and there are posted signs. And those are areas around the benches and pavilions and things like that. Those are closed to all public at 10 o'clock.
According to the Sheriff's Office, Marine units will be out on the water while traffic and DUI units will be out on the roads. And Venice Police Department also cracking down on underage drinking this spring break. This morning, they tweeted about an undercover alcohol buy operation to stop underage drinking. During their investigation, they cited the Venice Food Store and the 7-Eleven on East Venice Avenue for attempting to sell alcohol to minors. Well, time now to check in on our first alert weather forecast with Steve Newman, who is filling in for Bob Harrigan tonight. And Steve, it was a gorgeous sunset this evening.
Yeah, absolutely, a gorgeous day too. A little breezy for some. Those winds will subside overnight, but if you like today's weather across the Sun Coast, you're going to like the next few days right on through the beginning of spring break. And the end of it too. Taking a look at high temperature today, 84. That's several degrees warmer than normal for last night's low. We might drop off 1 or 2 degrees from that tomorrow, but it's going to be just fine right on through the at least Friday. Chance of showers on Saturday. Of course, our complete forecast in a little bit. High temperatures today, 83 at Tampa, 78 at Key West and at Miami. And across our viewing area, looks like the low 80s, low to mid 80s was pretty much where everybody was today, and no one's complaining other than the wind. And those winds were being brought from easterly breezes all across the state from the Atlantic. The moisture with it has been fairly shallow, so our humidity has gone down, the dew points have gone down. That makes for an extreme fire danger, so please be very careful if you're outside this weekend, next weekend, as a result of that combination of dangers. A mild night ahead with temperatures in the 60s, bottoming out around 58 or 59 toward dawn. Our complete forecast in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Looking forward to it. Well, several manatees were found stranded on a beach, but they are now safe thanks to Florida Fish and Wildlife. These manatees were found near a Jacksonville beach this weekend during low tide. They were found stuck in mid-flats and showing signs of cold stress syndrome. They were taken to Jacksonville Zoo and SeaWorld for rehab and are now doing better. Brush fires are continuing to cause issues here on the Sun Coast. Currently, there's one open brush fire in South Sarasota County. Dry conditions have put parts of Sarasota and Manatee counties at moderate or high risk for these fires over the past week. And over the past weekend, the Myakka River District responded to 5 wildfires in a 5-county area for a total of 180 acres. Florida Forest Service officials expect the rest of the season to be just as busy as last year.
But if you walk into any wooded area, you'll still see a lot of downed trees and debris that's on the ground that's not been picked up because it's in the woods. And so that just makes it a little bit more difficult for us to get in there, but it also provides more fuel on the ground for the fire to take hold of and burn.
Officials are also preparing not to see any amount of significant rain until the end of May or early June. New developments on the push for Manatee County EMS to change its policy after a man's body was left on the side of the road for hours. Today, county commissioners met with Sheriff Rick Wells of Manatee County to discuss what should be done with the remains of a patient who has died of natural causes in a public place. EMS units will now transfer the body into the ambulance and then wait for instruction from the sheriff's deputy on scene. If the patient's identity is unknown or the funeral home is unable to respond quickly, the EMS crew will transport the body to the medical examiner's office. Manatee County says every effort will be made to minimize the time an ambulance is unavailable for an emergency. A Sarasota woman is in jail for trying to sell counterfeit drugs. According to Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, deputies stopped her while driving on the wrong side of the road in Nokomis on Saturday. When they searched her car, they found pills, marijuana, and bags filled with unknown substances. She now faces several possession charges. Democratic candidate Philip Levine says he'll push for a ban on assault weapons, including a ballot referendum if necessary, but that's if he becomes elected governor. Today, Levine spoke in Tallahassee. When he was asked what his priorities would be if elected Florida's next governor, he said a ban on assault weapons would be at the top of his list. If the Republican-controlled legislature won't approve that ban, Levine says he would back an initiative to put the prohibition on the 2020 ballot.
Well, but as I tell everyone, before I'm a Democrat, I'm an American. And I don't believe that anyone has a monopoly on good ideas, not Republicans, not Democrats, and not independents. I'm not right, and I'm not left. I'm forward.
Levine is going up against Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum, former U.S. Congresswoman Gwen Graham, and Orlando entrepreneur Chris King to get that Democratic nomination in the race to succeed Governor Rick Scott. A federal judge is ordering the state of Florida to come up with a new way of deciding how and when former prisoners can get their voting rights restored. Today, U.S. District Judge Mark Walker blocked the state's current system of forcing ex-felons to wait at least 5 years before they can vote. Walker did not specify what rules that the state should put in place, but instead gave Governor Rick Scott and state officials 1 month to come up with a new process. Florida's Constitution automatically prevents felons from being able to vote after leaving prison. And Congressman Vern Buchanan was on the Sun Coast today to discuss new legislation investing $4 billion to deal with the deadly opioid epidemic. This is a $3 billion increase over last year and the largest allocation of federal anti-drug funding in history. $2 billion of the money will support treatment and prevention programs. $386 million will go to the VA health system to help and prevent abuse. And the remainder of that money will go to help keep drugs from crossing borders. Florida saw a 97% increase in fentanyl-related deaths from 2015 to 2016. And here on the Sun Coast, an exciting new partnership announced in Sarasota where the company Alorica is teaming up with a nonprofit veteran military project to talk about raising awareness of PTSD. The founder of the Military Veteran Project, Melissa Jarobi, lost her husband in 2012 due to complications after he was shot in the line of duty in Afghanistan. She says that this partnership will help local veterans get the help that they need to continue to succeed.
So some of these veterans have been given opiates, sleep medication, a slew of narcotics. And what we're doing at the Military Veteran Project is saying, let us look at your blood first and see your chemicals in your body. Let us look at your brain. Let us find a cure and help you get to where you need to be to move on and move forward.
Lorica says over 100 open full-time positions are now up for grabs, with the focus on getting veterans employment here on the Suncoast. Well, stay with us. Meteorologist Steve Newman will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, a suspicious package at a Florida airport delayed flights for 2 hours. We'll tell you what airport officials found inside that piece of luggage.
We're both employed by the Saints, so I think our rules should be the same.
And a former Saints cheerleader is fired after a social media post. Why she's now accusing the organization of gender discrimination.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life, right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Elite Airways is resuming their service between White Plains, New York and Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. The flight service to White Plains was put on hold for a short amount of time, but it will resume on June 15th, running twice a week on Fridays and Mondays. The airline also offers nonstop jet service between SRQ and Portland, Maine, which will now run twice weekly on Sundays and Thursdays starting on May 3rd. A suspicious item was found in a checked bag at a Florida airport, but it turned out to be a ball bearing tester. Before officials figured out what the item was this morning, Pensacola International Airport suspended all flights, detained 3 South Korean passengers, and called in a bomb squad from a nearby county in the Florida Panhandle. A spokesperson with Pensacola police told news outlets there that there was a language barrier between the passengers and officials. He added that the airport was never in any danger. Well, in today's day and age, it's normal to respond to emails after dinner or read messages while getting ready for work. But should you have the right to disconnect after hours? The New York City Council is debating a bill that would make sure that you don't have to respond to work emails or calls after you clock out. The bill does not forbid employers from contacting workers after hours, but it does say that an employee should have the right to not answer that call or that email without fear of retaliation. If an employer violates that rule, the business would pay a city fine of $250. Certainly an interesting concept, and I think we're always on our phones these days. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
I like the idea behind it, but enforcing is going to be kind of hard, I think. Speaking of our phones, if you're out there, you see a great picture, take a picture of it, send it to us at PIX, P-I-X, at mysuncoast.com. And Elodie answered the call from earlier today, and I'll show you in a minute. Look over Sarasota Bay from our Van Wezel cam. A few puffy clouds, otherwise a picture-perfect day. A little windy to be able to sail on the bay from our sailing squadron, but I think those winds are easing up tonight, and they'll be from a slightly different direction tomorrow, helping those sailors from the squadron. Now, here is from the Sarasota National down in Venice. Joyce King sent a sunrise this morning over the lake. What a beautiful steamy lake picture there. And Donald Townsend seems to think that's a gator in the sky. Can you kind of see that? There's the snout and there's the head. It could be a gator. We like creative, arty pictures. Send them to pics at mysuncoast.com. And look at this, beautiful sandhill cranes. A couple of babies there sent in by Amy Johansson. Thank you so much for those pictures. We love seeing them. Really livens up our weathercast. 66, the current temperature at the airport. Dew point 52. The humidity's up to 60%. East winds no longer over 10 miles an hour, but they'll pick up again tomorrow. But as long as those winds are blowing, the fire danger is going to be very high. And you can see they're under about 10 miles an hour under for the most part. Anna Maria, I think, a little gusty there, 16 miles per hour. And in southern Sarasota County and Charlotte County, still above 10 miles an hour in several locations. But there'll be a lot less tomorrow, I think, in most places than we saw this afternoon. You can see that easterly flow in the individual cumulus clouds blowing in from the Atlantic, but just a few of them making it all the way to the Gulf Coast. Radar, nothing showing up other than some ground clutter here and there. However, that's not the case in Texas, which for the second day in a row is under the gun for a threat of severe thunderstorms. And this outlook from the Storm Prediction Center shows down around San Antonio today and tomorrow over toward Houston and in Louisiana. And we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm watch boxes down there around San Antonio. One storm around Laredo is heading up I-10 toward San Antonio. Going to be a stormy night in South Texas. And it's all fueled by that little area of warmth there, over 80 degrees. And when it warms up again tomorrow, the storms will be farther east. Well, here's our future cast showing that we have those easterly winds. But look what happens in the next couple of days as high pressure drifts southward. The winds start coming in from the southeast and then from the south. That's warm and somewhat humid. And here comes that front triggering the storms tonight in South Texas. What's going to happen? This is only out to 48 hours from our RPM computer model. Let's go to our long-range futurecast from the European Center, and it shows the front coming through on Friday, and by Friday evening it still looks impressive, you know, not too bad. Maybe we'll get some rain, but unfortunately it kind of dissipates overnight, and by Saturday morning just a few clouds and a few sprinkles. But look what happens for Easter Sunday. The sky's clear and it looks like a beautiful sparkling day for Easter sunrise service and the rest of the day for enjoying the outdoors. Out on the water tomorrow, southeast winds at 15, maybe a few higher gust seas 2 feet, a chop on the bay. 80 degrees the bay temperature, UV index 10 with a water temperature of 69 to 70. Here's my forecast for tonight. A few clouds like you see there, 58 for the overnight low, and tomorrow a partly sunny day, a beautiful day, a little breezy at times, 81 the high. And here's your 7-day showing breezy conditions off and on right on through Friday. Then the front comes through with a 30% chance of showers, very slight chance on Saturday, clearing out for an 81-degree high on Sunday and staying dry next week. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. Sports is next, but first here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
On the world. And tonight, they take on Kimmel.
Don't you want to hear this?
John Goodman and Roseanne are here, and it's like old times.
I'm the boss.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, tonight on ABC.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Supan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything.
I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
Now, sports.
A former New Orleans Saints cheerleader now living in Sarasota has filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission against the New Orleans Saints, accusing the organization of gender discrimination. The complaint comes after she was fired following a social media post. ABC7's Erica Jackson shows us why she says she's fighting for equal rules.
The complaint claims the St. Station cheerleaders have to follow strict fraternization rules and a tight social media policy. But football players don't have to follow the same rules or regulations.
We're both employed by the Saints, so I think our rules should be the same.
Sarasota resident Bailey Davis cheered for the New Orleans Saints for 3 years, but in January, she was fired.
It's not fair that we work our whole lives just like the players do to be treated like this.
The St. Station's handbook states cheerleaders will be terminated for socializing with the team's players. It reads being seen in close proximity or socializing beyond general professional courtesy will be considered a violation, and member will be terminated immediately. Another reason for termination, posing for certain types of photos. The handbook reads participation in nude, semi-nude, or lingerie photography is strictly prohibited, and terms for immediate dismissal. Davis says she also followed social media guidelines during her time on the team, keeping her profiles private, blocking the players' accounts, and not sharing photos that violated the rules. Then she shared this photo in January and was terminated. According to the complaint, the Saints Human Resources Director said the photo calls into question whether Davis followed all team rules on appropriate attire.
That was actually part of her Halloween costume. It was not lingerie, but you know, I can see that they believed that. But regardless of if they believed it was lingerie or not, the discretion isn't the problem. The problem is the rule itself is discriminatory.
The Saints responded to Davis's complaint, releasing this statement. The New Orleans Saints do not tolerate discrimination of any kind, and it specifically denies that Ms. Davis was treated any differently on account of her sex. By filing the complaint, Davis wants the Saints and all NFL teams to change the policies.
I want to be treated like a professional athlete, just like the professional football players are treated like professional football players.
All NFL owners will be meeting in Orlando this week. Davis and her attorney hope the complaint will be discussed before Friday. Reporting in the newsroom, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you, Erica. The NFL owners unanimously approved a new catch rule today, a change which is designed to avoid many of the controversial catches or non-catches that have plagued the league for the past decade. A catch is now defined as a receiver controlling the ball, establishing himself in bounds, and performing a football move such as taking a third step or lunging with the ball in hand. Two of the most controversial non-catches that would now be considered catches would be Detroit Lions wide receiver Calvin Johnson in 2010 and Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Des Bryant in a 2014 playoff game. The new catch rule will start at the beginning of the 2018 season. And another change to the NFL made today, this one in regards to hitting another player. NFL owners rewrote a rule that if a player initiates any hit with the crown of their helmet, they will be flagged and the team will be charged with a 15-yard penalty. The offender could be disqualified, but the rule does not call for an automatic ejection on the hit like the rules state in college football. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, Florida's favorite jelly bean flavor is, drum roll, popcorn, buttered popcorn flavor. Steve and I have been sitting here debating that for the past couple minutes in the break. Now, this is according to CandyStore.com, who's pulled together its annual list of the most popular jelly bean flavors in the country. It might also surprise you to know it's also America's #1 favorite jelly bean flavor. I don't know how, but the retailer created the rankings using jelly bean sales data for more than a decade, as well as SurveyMonkey and Facebook polls of more than 12,000 people. Comes as a shocker to me.
Who knew? Who knew? I thought it was going to be watermelon for Florida and great for the country.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. And speaking of jelly beans, you know, they'll be in some Easter eggs when the Easter Bunny hides them coming up soon.
Let's take a sneak peek at the forecast. First of all, for the overnight hours, temperatures cooling off through the 60s and bottoming out around 59 tonight on really nice night. And here's your 7 days, showing the high on Easter Sunday, 81, as skies clear. Should be picture perfect most of the weekend. Only the slightest chance of a rain shower on Saturday.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Steve. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.